It all starts with the death of Franz Ferdinand, Archduke of the Austro-Hungarians. 1914 was the time when he got shot by a Serbian assassin in Sarajevo. He wouldn't live to know what his death would mean to the whole globe. This triggered a chain reaction that, in years to come, would birth new laws and maps. The Germans pledged support for Austria against the Serbs with ties to Russia. A declaration of war, July 28th. Austria is sending troops to the Serbs' gates. 2 days later, Germany declares war on Russia, and France feels the pressure. Troop formations begin to mobilize. Generals plan for wars of the worst kind. Politicians debate and negotiate, trying to stop a war, but it's too late. Germany invades Belgium, then Britain jumps in and comes to help them. All the powers of the European continent are now involved in this conflict. Oh boy, never before has there been a world war. Russians, French, and British up against the Austrians and Germans and the Ottomans. Ottomans? Who's that? I was about to get to that. Ottoman Empire stretched from Arabia, Southeast Europe to North Africa. Muslim kings, sultans, and grand sheiks controlled the flow of trade through the Middle East. Germany invades France and inflicts damage. Tell me, can you hear the sound of the cannons? Bombs bursting, machine guns, tanks rolling, people running. These weapons were new on the battlefield. They discovered new ways to maim and kill. No sword and shield, they got machine guns, explosive shells. It's so ill when the bomb fall from the sky. Man, it's way worse than a drive-by. Civilians dying by the thousands, nowhere to run, the whole world's wildin'. The war begins to spread at a fast pace. This begins the start of an arms race. The Germans start to pound on the Russians, unleashing more pain and destruction. The battle spanned from Serbia to Baghdad. Winston Churchill introduced a new plan: attack the Turks and seize their positions. The British fought with the Turks on their own lands, but the Turks held their ground, pushed them back and shamed the crown. Round 2, 1915, Italy declares war on Germany. The Lusitania luxury liner left New York on its way to UK. Thought they'd be safe, were they? Nope, they got sunk by a German U-boat. That means submarine, underwater plotting schemes. On through 1916, we see the rise and fall of kings. The Rothschilds finance both sides, and in the end align with the Allies. Oh boy, fortunes won, fortunes lost through selling guns, making weapons by the tons, using them on everyone. I hope you say it's a shame on the planet Earth, so much bloodshed and it gets worse. Indigenous tribes saw it coming, prophesied the great shaking of the earth. World War I would just be the first. America on the sideline and took a neutral stance to the right time. Bump that, I don't wanna be involved. Y'all got problems, work it out. German submarines bombing unrestricted in the harbor. It's a slaughter in the water. President Woodrow Wilson saw the opportunity in 1917 to declare war on Germany. The USA is now with the Allies. The history books say they're the good guys. The bankers fund both the competitors, but no one wins in war but the creditors. The Germans try to pull in Mexico to fight against US, but they don't know that it's too late. The US intercepts the Zimmerman telegram. Oh man, black regiments sent to the front lines to reinforce French troops. Man, I ain't lying. Like the Harlem Hell Fighters, also known as the Black Rattlers. 369th Infantry out of New York, served with dignity. On we go to 1918. The Germans launched more attacks in the spring. On the Western Front, the German war machine was on the hunt. They bombed France and made it clear they thought victory was near. Oh dear, they thought wrong. The Allies turned this war around, advanced their troops and gained more ground. The 100-day offensive pounds their positions. Germans weakened, British troops captured Jerusalem. The Turkish army collapsed at Megiddo. The Allied forces won more battles. Both sides were getting tired. Germans want a ceasefire. Kaiser William, Emperor of Germany, steps down and turns for peace. Abdicates his throne and flees to Netherlands for sanctuary. This marked the end of the war. Allied forces settled the score. Germany was beaten badly, forced to sign the Treaty of Versailles. If not, they'd be invaded. Reparations, yeah, they paid it. 8 million people killed, fighting on the battlefield. New technology revealed, League of Nations would be built to try to prevent a conflict like this from ever happening again with a big wish. Great nations rise and fall, all these kinds of things we saw. Telephones and armored cars, the theories of Sigmund Freud. Aeroplanes equipped with guns, industrial age has just begun. World War I birthed all this, stay tuned for what happens next.